Wade and Wade reacts.
This is our review for Monkey Man. We're going to tell you the good, the bad, and the nitpicks. So let's get right into it.
I liked how Monkey Man introduced the main character played by Dev Patel. At the beginning of the movie, they delved into his backstory with his mother telling him about the religion of Hanuman, teaching him how to pray to Hanuman, and they mixed that with scenes of him fighting opponents in some organization he was fighting for and getting money from the promotional manager. So you automatically knew what kind of person Dev Patel's character was. He was a person that was highly skilled. Plus, they set up the desire for revenge, or the desire to avenge his mother's death. This story had a lot of good characters in it. There was a character that partnered up with the main character, and they had some compelling, or I wouldn't say compelling, but they were compelling enough considering what the story was trying to accomplish in this movie. So that's all I can say when it comes to the good.
Yeah, as far as the good for me, I'm going to say the action. That was the best part of this movie, is to highlight this movie. That's what they put in the trailer. That's what they want you to see. So they definitely delivered on the action. So as far as the characters, and the characters, they did enough to get me to the next scene. But I won't say the only thing, but as far as what they told us in the trailer, it gave us that.
Yeah, the main attraction to this movie was the action, was the fact that it looked kind of similar to John Wick, a John Wick style movie, but in another setting in India. So that was the main attraction, and the action did deliver to a certain degree.
They even referenced John Wick too, because we had one hater in the comments to our reaction trying to talk about this isn't John Wick. Yes, it is. They referenced it.
Yeah, they referenced it, and we could already tell from the trailer that they drew inspiration from John Wick, and like you said, they even told you, hey, remember John Wick? Just to let the fans and the viewers know, hey, this is going to be similar to John Wick. Yeah. A revenge tale and a lot of action, a lot of blood and gore, and a lot of people getting killed.
Yeah, so they definitely had a John Wick reference in the movie. So let's get into the bad.
For me, some of the bad was the shaky cam. I wanted to see what was going on. And when I was looking at the environment to see how they shot certain scenes or to see the details of the action, I couldn't see it. Not because I needed glasses, but because the camera was so shaky that it was almost impossible to tell what was happening. I couldn't make it out. And this was an indication that they could have shot the action without shaky cam, because there's a fight scene close to the end of the movie where they shoot the scene from overhead. And the scene is not shot using a shaky cam technique. So they could have shot the other scenes the same way.
Yeah, the only bad I had with this movie was the story. I mean, the story wasn't compelling enough. It was simple. The guy was trying to get revenge, but it wasn't just that. That was like the main overarching thing, revenge. But the actual concept of him, I don't know what he was trying to recognize himself as, like a true warrior and connect with his
spirituality.
Yeah, spirituality and all his religion. But as far as that, it wasn't really compelling. It didn't make me go to sleep. But that little down part of the movie, I was like, okay, now when am I going to get that part that was on the trailer?
Me too. That's another thing I want to say when it comes to the bad category. The movie dragged a little bit in certain areas. I think if you advertise action and you know that the script is not complex, it should be action scene upon action scene upon action scene like John Wick. They ain't talking too much in John Wick. They got a little bit of downtime, but most of the movie is spent killing people and beating people up. And that's what they should have done with this.
Mm-hmm. Let's get into the nitpicks.
The last evil villain he fought didn't have any skills. That man was in his chambers. I don't know why he didn't leave the building. That's another nitpick, because when he was killing people, his guards escorted him somewhere else. And where were the guards that escorted him? Why come they weren't protecting him? Why did he tell them to leave, or whatever he did with the guards? It didn't make any sense. But he was in some kind of corridor in the building, soaking his feet, talking all tough, like he was about to have this showdown with the main character. He stabs the main character. The main character is in pain at first, but once he comes to his senses and remembers that he's here to kill this man, he does away with the main evil villain like it's child's play. I wish he would have had some fighting skills. Like in John Wick, everybody can fight. And if you're gonna draw inspiration from John Wick, draw inspiration from the fact that everybody can fight. And that dude looked like he can fight. That's what I expected, but then he got his mind whooped. I didn't like that. I wanted him to actually put up a good fight.
Yeah, I got some nitpicks too, is, you know, about the end of the movie as well. The people that he hid with towards the end of the movie, or maybe the end of the second half of the movie, they didn't show them training. Now, they did have one of the characters say we're warriors, but they didn't actually show them training. So then that part happened in the movie. They helped him out at the end, which you see that in the trailer. And another problem I had with that last battle was, okay, he caught them off guard, right? He beat up all the security that was protecting the people that was in there. Maybe there was no guns allowed in that part. Mm-hmm. But when all those guys came out the elevator, where were the guns?
Exactly.
And that lady had a gun. She was the only person that had a gun. That was my only nitpick. I was like, okay, this took me out of the movie a little bit. Because if it was John Wick or any other action movie, you would have got the initial drop on that security. But after that second round of guys came out the elevator, they would have had guns.
That's true. Another nitpick is that golden tray that woman had. She hit one of the main evil villain's wives in the back of the head with it and killed her. Then Dev Patel's character took the same tray and cut the woman's finger off clean. This ain't no blade. This is a tray that you hold food on. Like, man, that weapon, he should have had that the whole movie, because that seemed like an all-powerful weapon in that movie, and it was just a tray. That's my nitpick. Another one of my nitpicks, rather. That didn't make any sense.
Yeah, but I don't know how much pressure that he put on that thumb for it to come off. Like in real life, how much pressure does somebody have to apply to a thumb for it to come off?
But it was like a clean cut. It wasn't like he knocked it off.
It looked kind of bloody and nasty to me when he hit it.
But it was clean, though. It didn't have any skin hanging. It was just like he cut it off with a blade.
So from whack to masterpiece, where do you rank this?
This movie is definitely not a masterpiece. I know a lot of people hoped that it would have turned out to be a masterpiece, but it is still not whack. The movie delivers when it comes to action. The main character is interesting. I think they could have done a lot more with this character in this movie, but the writers, no offense to them, weren't skilled enough to accomplish that. So I would give this movie a decent. I think Dev Patel put together a good effort, and Jordan Peele, as the producer, produced some quality work.
Yeah, to me, this movie is decent too. I'm gonna give it a decent, but it has potential.
Yeah.
The scene, because they left it off, we don't really know what happened to the character. We can assume that he died at the end, but we don't really know if he did or not. So this can be a franchise. It can be like a Punisher in India.
They could definitely make a sequel to this movie, because we know they have a large Indian fan base. And even though I think this movie is decent and I think that they could have done a lot more, I would go see a second one, because there is so much potential. Like you said, he killed a leader, a person who was bringing together a large portion of the Indian population. So they're gonna wonder what happened to this man. And he might have some zealot followers that will try to track down the man who killed their leader. And then he has some guards that escaped with him. Mm-hmm. What will they think when they don't see their leader anymore? Maybe they'll try to track down the main character because they know he was there killing people. Maybe they'll try to track him down to get revenge. That would be a good storyline as well.
Yeah, so that's why I was thinking like he'd be like a Punisher, because they did have the movie was all about like symbols. He had the monkey head, which represented the Hanuman thing, and then on top of that, remember the guru said, "Hey, kill dude before nobody becomes a somebody." So that's what made me think, okay, they can do a sequel. Yeah,
because now he's somebody. Yeah. He killed some big rigs in India. Man, I know this is the end of the video, but I wish he would have wore that Monkey Man hat or that Monkey Man mask after he dipped it in bleach.
Yeah, so hopefully this movie comes by with a part 2 so he can wear that mask a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But hey, that's been our review. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, share this video, and hit the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.